Everyone set? I'll let Coach open with a statement.
Yeah, so obviously we got a really quick turnaround, and Albany came in here a little banged up, missing two starters, two veteran starters, experienced guys, so thought it was a hard-fought battle, especially that first half, right? We were doing a lot of fouling, and I think defensively we were very disciplined the first 20 minutes, but I thought we made the adjustment. But I do know Albany's going to be a competitive team in their league, right? Once they get healthy, again, from scouting them, and I think that's going to be just about every game we play as we move forward. We still were the younger team on the floor, and I thought Peavy in particular showed his veteran. I thought he dominated the game from start to finish until we took him out with about 8 minutes to play. But again, that's what veterans do. He's been in a lot of basketball games, but I thought we shared the ball. With 20 some odd assists, 41 baskets, and because I don't think we shot a lot of free throws, we're getting in front of the rim. We played in transition, of which we wanted. Again, another game where we're just trying to stack improvement, and that's the thing that we talked about. I thought we had good balance all the way around, inside and out, but I was really impressed by us just sharing the ball. Didn't like some of our careless turnovers, and a lot of those happened early and then late, but I thought in the middle part of the game, we just took over the game, and again, an opportunity for us to grow. So I'm excited about that, but a really quick turnaround as we got to play here on Monday. And again, I'm really excited to watch the football game tomorrow as we cheer on our Commanders to try to get back on the winning side.
And to kind of build off the thought of those middle 20 minutes, I know we talked the other night about how that was probably as good defensively as you played. Was that 20 minutes about as good offensively as you guys played?
Mm-hmm. Again, development, improvement, we keep talking about that. Again, I'm going to come back to saying, when you're playing a schedule the way we're playing, we're trying to get continuity, chemistry. 17 guys all in, right? And the buy-in has to be important when you have all these new pieces. So 17 equal 1 with us. So that's what we talked about on the offensive side and defensive side. And I thought we made a jump forward. Now we got to make another jump as we get ready for a UMBC team that is going to be a threat from 3.
How is Julius doing at this point?
Julius is day-to-day, got a little nicked up in practice. Obviously, we're concerned about that. We'll have more on him probably Monday. But he had a pretty decent injury, and we're concerned about him.
And kind of the bigger picture, you're through November at this point.
Mm-hmm.
How would you kind of evaluate what you guys have been able to do in the first month of the season?
I would say, again, another fair question as far as, our chemistry is growing, right? And I think when you look around and you look around the country, teams that have incredible chemistry, teams that have continuity, teams that have a will, a purpose, and a fight as a group are the teams that come out successful. That's what we're trying to do. That's exactly what we're trying to build. And it's not going to happen overnight, right? The competition's about to pick up, but we want to make sure, hey, what it is, what's it feel like to win? What's it feel like to share the ball? What's it feel like to see the ball go through the basket? When you're building programs, those are the little things you got to win before you win on the scoreboard.
Marcus?
For both of the student athletes, they went to the free throw line 18 times in the first half, but only 2 times the second half. Just what were your communications on the floor with each other to kind of hunker down and play better defense as opposed to some of the fouling that was going on in the first half?
I'll just say we weren't being disciplined in the first half, and going into halftime, that's all we talked about was just our scout and just stay disciplined and play our defense, and I feel like we did that in the second half.
Yeah, we thought that we played terrible defense in the first half. Coming into halftime, we had to talk about it, and we talked about keeping our hands to ourselves, not getting dumb, stupid fouls for them to get to the free throw line. So that's what we came into the second half to do, and we stopped them. Free throws.
And for you, Coach, it just seems like with each game, Caleb looks more and more comfortable. Are you seeing the same thing, and is it just him simply just being more comfortable with the minutes that you're giving him?
Caleb is a steady Eddie, right? And he has to go against this guy every single practice. So you have a veteran guy who's doing a great job leading, but also challenging him in McKenna in practice. I've been blessed to coach some incredible defensive players in my career, not just as a head coach, but as an assistant coach. And I will put Micah Peavy up there with any one of them. Defensive Players of the Year I've coached, all league players we've coached, I don't know if there's a better on-ball defender in the country. I don't know if there's a better off-ball defender in the country with respect to his length, his toughness, and anticipation. And he's going to have to continue to lead the rest of the group. So Caleb going against that daily, and we tell him, make it hard on him. Nothing easy, right? Everything that Georgetown will get, will earn.
And you talked about 17 being together as one. Near the end of the game, those last 4 or 5 minutes, I saw the bench and how they were reacting to some of the guys who hardly get to play and all the enthusiasm. Just as a coach, I know sometimes they're out on the floor and you kind of want to get back. But as a coach, how does that make you feel that it seems like these guys are starting to bond a bit?
Well, you get really proud because, again, we've had some dark days, right? And you can see that enthusiasm and you can see guys cheering for one another. Even the guys that don't play mega minutes, it's something about chemistry. It's something about team. It's something about jubilation and joy for others, right? And that's what I had it right. I took a step back and I didn't look at it from a coaching standpoint. I looked at it more from a mentor, that the coaching staff is doing a right job teaching chemistry and teaching partnership and caring and sharing for one another.
Coach, Albany's a team that likes to play this up-tempo style. They have guards that like to get downhill. With how your team responded today, are there any adjustments that you would like to make as you go to play UMBC, which is another team that likes to, ratchet up the pace?
We want to run, right? If that's, if that's the pace we have to play at, again, sometimes you have to adjust, right? We tell our guys we have to camouflage, we have to be chameleons. We want to play in transition as much as we can. It's very hard to score against set defenses, right? Really, really hard to score against set defenses. And if that's the way we have to play to have success, then that'll be really good. I'll play in transition as much as we can with the athletes that we have.
Coach, you were able to empty the bench today. How good is that for you to just work on different combinations and see how these guys work with one another?
It helps chemistry. You know what I'm saying? And if we do what we're supposed to do in some of these games, it will allow us to rest some of our guys, knowing we have a quick turnaround. But it also lets other people get on the floor, look at different combinations. And again, the eye in the sky don't lie. So when people get hurt, people get sick, things happen in their life, next guy up, opportunities there. Because you're not going to play 17 guys. You're not going to play 12 guys. You're not going to play 10 guys. You got to get that rotation down tight in order to build chemistry and continuity to get ready for the Big East.
Peavy, you're a renowned defender. You even picked up, I think, a social media nickname, Straps or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. But you quarterbacked well today from the elbow. Talk about that.
I feel like that's just coach trusting me, putting the ball in my hands and make some decisions, and that's the other guys making the shots. So it's not just me; it's everybody. It's a collective. So I appreciate my teammates.
We had 15 turnovers. These two guys combined for 7. Just want to put that out there. Humility.
Ed, you guys had 58 paint points today. Obviously, higher level for you guys than them, but was some of that just being patient to make sure those bigs and guys got into the paint?
Well, between Peavy driving the ball, Thomas's size, the athleticism with Burks and Fielder, right? We had an advantage there. That was a big part of the scout to get to the rim. And that'll be a big part of the scout as we grow. We want to race to the rim. We want to get to the rim as much as we can. And I thought 3 consecutive games, maybe 4 consecutive games, it was a race to the rim, I think, that we're winning, right? So we want to stay in that plus category and get points.
Micah, one for you. I know during media day, I think it was, you had a big smile on your face when you talked about the offensive role you could have under Coach Cooley. Was today kind of the envisionment of what you thought you might be able to do when you got here to Georgetown?
Yeah, like I said, I chose this school because I trusted what Coach had to say. I wanted to play with some freedom and be able to make some mistakes. I feel like I'm able to do that here, and when you're able to do that, you can blossom and play your game. Sure.
John Titel?
From Hoops HD for Coach. I want to ask about 3-point shooting. You came in today, the team was shooting under 29%, today over 40%. Do you think it's more about having the right guys take them, or having guys take them at the right time, or having 10-toed threes or something else?
We've been practicing a lot on our 3-point shooting, and again, obviously having the right guys shoot them definitely helps. But how many uncontested shots can we get? We do want 10-toe threes, and that's the terminology that we use. How many 10-toe threes that are uncontested? Because that's what kids practice. Not many kids practice contested dribble up 1-2, 35 dribble step backs. Those are hard shots to make. Steph Curry can make those. Dame Lillard can make those, right? LeBron can make those. Those guys are called Hall of Famers and they're GOATs, right? We don't have that yet, so keep it simple.
Thomas, how would you kind of size up what it felt like playing in an offense that was as crisp as it was there in that middle half of the game?
Can you repeat the question?
How would you kind of size up how it felt to be playing in an offense that was as crisp as it was there in that middle half of the game?
Basically, we, like, coming out of the second half, we was just trying to push the ball, you know, and try to, like, get it inside, because that's where Albany was weak at. So we was trying to punish the paint, and then once they started, you know, coming down in the paint, then we kick it up to our shooters. So it was just like whatever was there, we just try to read it and make it happen.
And how would you kind of size up Drew in a game like this, where they obviously weren't quite as big, but at the same time you're down a big at that point, so there's probably a little bit of yin and yang there.
Right.
How would you kind of size up what he was able to do, and frankly how important he's going to be moving forward?
Yeah, versatility. And again, I thought he had enough game minutes last year to be able to play. We're playing him at 2 different positions, as we'll play Thomas at 2 different positions. We try to play Peavy at 4 or 5 different positions as well. The more positions you can play, the more opportunity that's going to be there. If you just pigeonhole yourself as being X, I don't think that allows you to grow. So I was really proud of Drew today as far as his growth and his ability to adapt, right? Because, you know, we didn't expect that to happen, obviously, 2 days ago. So I thought he gave us a big punch off. Definitely gave us a big punch.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.